Don't forget to subscribe, turn on the notification bell and to check out the join membership option.
Alright guys, so welcome to this video, and today we will be dealing with this tower defense topic once again. So this is our third episode of our how to create an anime tower defense game series. And guys, you are insane, okay? So you guys are just insane. Thank you for your support, and please continue your support. So if you consider yourself as a part of this community, then please comment #Basta as well, so as you guys know. And so with that being said, let's get right into this video. So enough with all of these thank yous and all of the whole talking instead of my intros, because my intros are becoming pretty long. Okay, never mind. So let's get into this video right here. So today we will be working on our towers again. So I will show you how to make actual towers which actually attack those units down here. So let me just revise what we already have right now. Okay, so as you can see, we have some kind of units which come from here, and they go all the way to our building right here. We have these towers right here which we can place, but they do not do any damage. And that's our topic for today, okay? So how do we get these guys to do damage or to attack those units? And the answer for this question depends on what kind of tower you have. So we first of all should create a tower which portrays a character, okay? So once we have some character which is portrayed as a tower, we can determine what attack this tower will have. So let me do an example, okay? So let me do a Zoro tower. Zoro from One Piece, so from the One Piece anime series. He will use swords to attack those units. Okay, so this is pretty obvious. And if you want to design your own tower right here, then just do the same as I do. Okay, so duplicate your tower right here. So let's just keep it inside of here for testing purposes, and then select all of these parts except for the indicator and maybe the humanoid root part. So the humanoid root part isn't that important as well for what we will do now. So we will just set the skin color and then insert some clothes, so shirts and pants. And now we need our shirts and pants ID for our Zoro clothing, or for the clothing of the character you desire to do. So I don't know if you guys just want to follow this tutorial and do Zoro or work on your own character, okay? So well, let me just get some IDs right here. Well, I'm gonna be pausing the video right here just to get some IDs. Alright, so I've got some shirt and pants ID right here. So if you're wondering on how you can get shirts or pants IDs, okay, then drop down a suggestion in the comment section saying so, and I will consider making a mini tutorial out of it. So if you don't know what a mini tutorial is, guys, it is one of my series on this channel which just deals with tutorials in a very short amount of time. And yeah, so that's what mini tutorials are about. So you just have to enter this number right here, and as you can see, the dummy or the tower receives a pants. Okay, and the same goes for the shirt. Now there's this issue with the hair. Okay, so our tower right here has no hair, and I already thought about a way to get around this. Okay, but we will also create many other characters which will need hair sooner or later. Okay, and if you guys are interested in some kind of hair tutorial, so how can I do anime hair for, I don't know, Luffy, Zoro, or for other anime characters, for other popular anime characters, guys, then leave a comment saying so or suggesting that, and I will consider making a tutorial on that as well. So I don't think that there are many hair tutorials on Roblox, on YouTube, I mean, and well, I think there are some, but yeah, so there are like some tutorials on it, but who knows, maybe you guys are still interested in a tutorial. Okay, so I'll be probably making this Zoro band, so this black band he just wraps around his head for this case, but we won't be able to do it every time, you know, so we will sooner or later need to deal with hair creation. So I would be able to do that headband inside of Blender, but now switching programs would be too much effort. Therefore, we can just easily work with solid modeling in ROBLOX Studio. So I see no problem with that. And yes, let's go. So this will be the top of that band. Also, shoutouts to the person who has created this shirt or this clothing in general. So these are not mine, and credits to that person, of course. So this is too small. Let's make this a lot more bigger. Also pull it down, and yeah. Now create another part. Move it down as well, and move it around here. Then rotate the whole thing till it looks like this. Move it up. And then you can do the following. So right click and hit negate. Then select both parts, right click and click union. And then the whole thing looks like this. So where is it? The parts area was like cut out, and that's the point of solid modeling in ROBLOX Studio. Now we can create this back part right here, so the knot, I think that's the way to call it. Yeah, so let me just change this material, and now let's create the knot. So the knot is pretty easy to do. We will use this ball right here, just make it very small, and put some parts on the right and left side, which will make it look like a knot in addition later. So working with these parts, so this part right here looks pretty ugly in my opinion, and that's why I prefer using Blender, really. So I don't think that modeling in Roblox is a thing anymore. So many developers are switching to Blender and other programs. So if you want, you can drop your comment telling me if you guys are, well, first of all, developing for yourself or just watching my videos for whatever reason. And if you are developing, then what do you do? So are you a builder or a scripter, or maybe a how do you call these people, an animator or a graphic designer? And if you are a modeler or builder, then what do you prefer, guys? Do you prefer modeling in Roblox or in Blender or Cinema 4D or other programs? Okay, so there are many programs which allow you to model, and Blender is like the popular one just because it is free and it is easy to use once you understand it, of course. So you need to understand it first of all in order to be able to use it very easily. Okay, so as you can see, the headband right here is done. So let me call this thing headband, and let's drop this inside of our Zoro modeler. Okay, nice. So now, of course, this thing is not attached to this Zoro model right here. So let me demonstrate this to you guys. So this is an issue which, okay, so it just fell through the floor. Well, let's cut this demonstration thing. Let me just go forward. So many of you guys are like wondering, okay, how can I attach stuff onto models or onto other stuff onto my player without anchoring them? Okay, so anchoring prevents the models from moving. Okay, and there's a solution for this. So the solution is you can either use welding. So there are things like weld constraints, welds, or other welding instances in general, or there are things like attachments. Okay, so I think that you can use both. Now in this special case, you could also use something called accessory or hat. Okay, hats seem to be deprecated and do not appear right here, but hats still exist. Okay, so if you look up some hats inside of Toolbox, you will probably encounter them. So that they also have this hat icon, and you can use these and then just adjust the position on your properties tab right here. But I prefer using a weld constraint or welding in general because it is pretty easy to use. So let me show it to you guys. Okay. So we have our headband right here. The first thing you want to do, okay, you want to move it to the position you want it to stay, or you want it to have later on. Okay, so I do not want Zoro to look like this forever. So I want this headband to be on top of his head. Okay, so he should be wearing this headband right here. Now, if you have moved the thing in its desired position, then insert a weld constraint either inside of this instance right here, so inside of the headband, or somewhere else. So it actually does not depend. Just make sure that this instance, that this weld constraint does not get destroyed or disappears somehow. So my recommendation is to leave it inside of this headband. Okay, now part 0 and part 1 right here inside of the property. So part 1 is always the part you want to weld onto something. Okay, so in this case we want our headband to be welded on top of our head. Okay, so our headband is our first, or our part 1, because we want it to be welded on top of our head. Okay, and therefore our head is our part 0. And that's the way to do it, guys. So let me call him post timeskip, Zoro post timeskip. Let me move him inside of this towers folder right here. Now let's see if this whole thing has worked. If so if we can actually use Zoro right here, post timeskip. Okay, so this is wrong. Okay guys, so let's go. And as you can see, we have Zoro right here, and this placement thing is a bit glitchy, I know guys, so I will probably make a future episode in which I fix some bugs. Okay, so what is happening? Why is this happening? Okay, this is weird. Now there's an issue with this placement thing. Okay, to destroy place. Oh, I think that. Oh. Okay. So I think that I did not switch this view right here, this perspective. So this is very important when trying to manually add towers. So there were also some of you guys who did not know how to change towers. Okay, and guys, slow down a bit. So we still have many episodes in which we can many things. So a summon thing, for example, in which you can summon for towers or a tower shop. Well, it depends on what you guys prefer. Okay, so I might maybe do some kind of poll on the community tab, asking you guys what you prefer. So should we create a tower shop or a tower summoner? Okay, so I will be doing this later, I don't know when. And till that episode, you need to change your towers manually, and I'll be showing you how this works now. Okay, so let's say that you're currently testing and you want to get rid of these dummy ones right here. So I mean, they are very basic, very boring, and you just do not want to use them. It is understandable, guys. Then what you want to do is you could change them right here. So go to players, my player right here, and then tower 1, tower 2, whatsoever, so what you prefer, and then manually change it. But that will not work due to filtering enabled. So what you need to do first is you need to change the perspective right here. So you want to go from client to server, and the server perspective looks like this. So you are not attached, or your camera is not attached to your player anymore. It is, well, you can just fly around. That's what you want to do, guys. So this is the server's perspective, and you're now able to change your data as a server. And this is what we want to do. So let's do this right here. So let me change this to Zoro post time skip, and then just change back the views or the perspectives, and now you should be able to use them. And there we go, guys. So I was able to place him right here, and this is our Zoro. Well, his face has still this ROBLOX default face. It is still this ROBLOX default face. We could just get him a new face if we want to. Let's do that. So first time using this toolbox. Well, I'm not a big fan of those toolbox models or the toolbox in general. So there are many exploiters who love to infect the models right there and make people use them. So these hackers will have access to their games and stuff. So it is a very bad topic around this whole exploiting, and so I recommend you guys just be careful when importing models from this toolbox. So there are many backdoors deep hidden inside of these models, which can easily which make hackers gain easier access to your games, so they can like easier hack them or maybe also steal some assets. Okay, so be very careful, guys. Now this Zoro tower has a face. Now let's give him a sword. So I've made a katana tutorial ages ago, guys, so I recommend checking that out if you have not already. And let me put this katana right here. So I just need this katana model, not tool. So we can just destroy this. And now we'll move this katana, playing this katana model inside of our Zoro. Name it katana if you want to, so you can use any other sword as well. So I'll be just using this basic katana right here. And if you're using a other sword, then make sure that everything is welded together to like one part maybe. So you have all of the other parts inside of this one part, and this one part is like the main part. And then weld the main part to the player's hand. So why is this causing trouble, guys? Roblox Studios sometimes pretty annoying, so clicking and moving sometimes gets very annoying. Okay, there we go. So our Zoro post time skip will have only one sword style in the first level. Okay, so there's also this topic with leveling your towers and making them stronger, making them have newer attacks, cooler attacks with cooler effects, and stronger attacks, and all of that stuff, guys. So if our time is still enough later on, then I would love to show that to you guys. Okay, now let's create some kind of idling animation for our Zoro right here. So let me just move this indicator outside. So this is just interrupting us, guys. Oh, what is happening? There we go, finally. Okay. So let's create a very basic idling animation for our Zoro right here. Oh, okay, there's a problem. So we have moved our katana to our hand, but we did not weld it yet. So repeat this welding process with our katana as well. So right hand, so this must be the right hand, exactly. And our part one is of course our katana. Now we can just continue modeling. There we go. Okay, so this is our base position right here. Now let's increase this to 4, then go right here and make the upper torso move, bit up, and then a bit down. Just copy this, paste it right here, and as you can see, this already has some little idling effect. So let me let me decrease this to 2, because 4 is too much, I think. And now this whole idling gets more clear to us. Let's stop this and let's use some some single changes, some little changes to our limbs right here. Okay, this is not what I wanted to do. This red thing, please, and there we go. Okay. All right, so this looks a bit too fast, but I'll be keeping it this way. Let me just take this here. Okay, so this is the way we want this to look like. Now don't forget to set the animation priority to action, so my recording program does not record that for some kind of reason, but you have to go to these three dots, then all the way down to set animation priority, then all the way down to action, either action or movement, but in this case I recommend action. And if you guys have done that, then go to these three dots again, then go to export, and then this export tab appears. Well, my program is not filming that for whatever reason, and then just export it, guys. So Zoro idle, and do not forget to save the animation ID you receive after exporting. So in this case, I've received this. Alright, so that's it with animating this whole dummy, or animating the idling animation. Okay, so there's still a lot of other things to animate. So we could also animate the attack, which we will do right in a second, I mean. So let's just create this island, or let's just make our tower idle first of all. So idle animation. So let me, or I'm not sure, but I'll be leaving things as it is right now. So, but we'll probably change this whole thing later. All this script parent humanoid. Not humanoid boot part, humanoid please. Load animation and then script idle play. So this is the way on how you play animations. So script.parent, so script obviously refers to our script right here. Parent refers to the parent of this script, okay, which is our Zoro model right here. And then this whole thing refers to our humanoid. So the humanoid is a part of this model, which is right here. So the humanoid is obviously right here. And then load animation is a function of this humanoid, which requires the animation as an instance instead of these two brackets, which we do by referring to script and then idle. And we can do that because idle is the child of our idle script. And then play is a function to play the loaded animation right here. So with that being said, let's move this indicator back in. Now we need to look very centered. Okay, and let me duplicate this whole thing. So let's move one inside of the towers, and let's leave one here without this indicator, because we will perform some animation work on this one later. And I forgot to say that, but credits to the person who has created this Zoro face right here. So I'm obviously not using any face I have made, so this is a remodel face. So thanks to the person who has created it, and credits to him or to her. Okay, so our Zoro is idling right now. And I think that I could move him a bit more above. So he's like sunken inside of this grass. So let me move him a bit more up. I think that I could even do 2. Place him right here. Okay, 2 was too much. Alright. I'm also very happy that you guys like this series of how to create an anime tower defense game. So why isn't he like standing up? Okay, so this is too much as well. Probably 0.5. So something around 0.5, 0.6 is the correct position. And okay, so 0.5 is alright, I guess. Okay, so I'm very happy that you guys seem to like this this series, and I love to create these. Okay, so I'm a huge fan of also tower defense. So if I play a game on Roblox, which I barely do, then it either is my game or also tower defense. And I really like the work they've done, so big shout outs to them. And I'm not trying to copy your game in any way, so this is, so I gotta admit that I've took a bit of inspiration for them, of course, and I just want to show the people how things could work. Okay, so I do not want to do them one by one, or do the same, or just copy their game. So I just want to show you guys how this whole thing could work. Okay, so could is pretty important. This is not how it is working, how it could work. So there are several ways to do the thing these guys do, and this is maybe one of them. All right, so that being said, so we were able to place our tower. Now it is time to do something else. So now let's move on with the attack. Now let me call this thing control. Okay, so I've said earlier that we will probably change this whole thing, and I was right. So of course we'll change this. So let me define some variables first of all. So our first variable is idle, which is our idling animation right here. So script.idle, I've explained it earlier. Now the next thing is our attack, which is script.attack. So you might be wondering to what I am referring to. So there's no attack right here, and you guys are right. So I was planning on creating this thing. So this attack variable will store the attack animation, which we will create later. And the next thing we want to do is we want to define this loaded animation right here. So let me do that. Let's remove this play right here. So loaded idle is what I've explained earlier. Instead of writing this, we can write idle right here. All right. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to let me zoom in a bit. So some of you have been complaining that they can barely see anything. We want to create another variable which is responsible for cooldown. So let me call this enable. Let's set it to false. Now we need to create a loop. So this loop obviously never ends. And let's create a wait. Now an if statement, so we are asking if this enabled is false, which it is by default. And if that's the case, then we want to continue with our, with our attacking code right here. And I'm still thinking on how we could do it. So this is my first time as well. So we want set this enable to true first of all, so to prevent spammed attacks, so multiple attacks in one, so just to prevent them. And we want to add a cooldown, so let's add the cooldown to 5 and set the enabled thing back to false after 5 seconds of attacking. Now the next thing is we want to I'm still thinking, guys. So we want to loop through the whole workspace right here, okay? And the thing we want to do is we want to check for our minions right here, well, or for our units. So we do not even need to loop through the whole workspace. It is enough if we just loop through this minions fold. So this is the reason why I have created it in the first place some weeks ago. Okay, so I've totally forgot about that. So for then underscore, you could also use an I or something else. So I like to use this underscore. Hum in pairs, then brackets, workspace, td, minions, get children, do. And then, so let's call this units, and let's create another variable called distance. So we want to check for the distance. So we don't want this Zoro to be able to tag someone who from here. Okay, so if our Zoro is right here, then we do not want him to be able to attack someone who's right here. Okay, so this would be completely completely useless, completely dumb, and we of course just want him to attack someone who's nearby or maybe far away, but even that only when he's like high level. And for those purposes, or for those matter, we will check for distance. So we're looping through this minions folder, and in order to get the distance, all we need to do is we need to do units dot and then the humanoid root part. So we are getting the root part of our unit right here, and then we are getting its position. So position is pretty important when it comes to distance, which is probably pretty obvious, guys. So you will need to know some position data in order to work with distances and all of these things related to that. So our units, humanoid root parts position, so just our units position, to put it in a nutshell, minus our position, so our tower's position. So script parent humanoid root part position. And this minus that results in the distance. And we can perform this magnitude right here, which gives the distance out in some kind of number we can work with. So let me just demonstrate to you what I'm talking about. So as you can see, probably right now nothing will happen because there are no units. Okay, so once units appear, then things will get rolling, guys. As you can see, this is the distance I was talking about, and distance is getting shorter. So as our unit was right here, it printed out 18. And the more units we have, the more things will be printed out, of course. Makes sense. And yeah. So this is the whole distance thing. Now we want to check if something reaches a certain distance. So if distance is lower than, well, then what? Let's say 15, okay? So if distance is lower than 15, then print attack. And also let me decrease this, let me diminish this to 2 or to 1, because 5 is too much in my opinion. Let me place them right here. Okay, so this was this was some kind of bug, or was I able to place it for whatever reason? Okay. Attack. So he would have attacked 2 times right here. Okay, so we only want him to attack 1 time, and therefore we will do the following. So let me create another variable called attacked, which is set to false by default, and if distance is not greater than 15 and attacked is false, then our tower is able to attack. Therefore attack needs to be true, and we need to create this whole thing around attacking. So we need to put our tower in front of the unit. So let's do this and perform an animation to make it look like an attack, and then of course destroy the unit, or damage the unit at least. So the whole topic around around leveling and strengthening towers, but also units. Okay, so units can reach a certain health status or certain damage status as well. So the whole topic around that will be covered in a future episode. So these are just general things which lay the bottom for something big, okay, for more advanced stuff. So please slow down a little. More things will come in future, but of course you can suggest them anytime. I'm very happy to read out your comments. So now I have to think about it. So okay, script parent humanoid report this time, C frame equals, we should maybe okay, so I'll be sharing soon, guys, what I was just thinking about. So I'll first of all show you the problem. Okay, so let's just move on with this whole positioning thing. So we want our tower to be placed in front of the unit in order to attack him or her, so depending on the unit. Therefore, we will change the C frame. So script.parent humanoid report C frame equals the unit humanoid root part C frame. So we set both, or we set our towers. C frame equals to our unit. C frame means they share the same position, so both will be inside of each other. In order to prevent that, we just want our tower to be maybe to stay a bit forward, or a bit backwards, or a bit more to the left, a bit more to the right. So depends on what you want to do, and therefore we will do this multiply thing. So times cframe.new, and then depending on you, maybe 1.500 whatsoever. And now I will show you the problem I was just thinking about so quietly in myself. Why isn't there any oh, okay, so the animation has stopped playing because I did not define it, or I did not make it play. And as you can see, guys, he just teleported, and now he's not teleporting back, and that was the issue. So that was the issue, which made me think a lot, and I think that I found some kind of solution for that. So what we want to do is we want to create a kind of origin part inside of our tower, which stays at the origin, means the position or the place to which our player has placed the tower. So origin part can collide false, origin part anchored is true. So I'm creating a new instance, obviously, right here, which is a part inside of the tower, and we disable the collision right here. We make it anchored, and we need to make it transparent. So transparency is being set to 1. And the last thing we want to do is we want the origin part's position be the same position as our tower's position, because it is its origin. And that's the way to do it. Oh, and also give the origin part some kind of name. So origin part name, origin part, of course. Where is it? Now back inside of the script right here. Let me just deal with this later. So with this idling thing, so we are teleporting right here, and then in the end, we want our humanoid root parts position be equal to the origin parts position. So wait for child, origin part. And using this wait for child right here is important, I think, because the origin part is not inside of this tower at right at the beginning. And if you try to access it without even having it, then it will throw out an error, and therefore let's just use this wait for child just to prevent this from happening. Okay, and yeah, so let me just place him. There we go. Let's wait for some units. Okay, so the issue was that, as you guys have seen, he did teleport, but teleport back right away. And as you can see, he's like switching switching angles, and that's proof to my theory. So he's switching angles because he was being teleported to, I don't know, to any place right here and then teleported back. Yeah, so we need to add a weight right here, of course. So maybe a weight. Oh, I think that a weight 1 will probably do. And so let's destroy the unit after the attack. And so I think that this is enough for. So just destroying this whole unit is probably enough for this episode, because I don't think that we have enough time left to cover up leveling, so different types of units, so some units which are faster and stronger and have more health, and then units which are weaker and all of that stuff. Okay guys, so we do not have enough time to cover up that and therefore to work on this take damage thing. So just destroying units is enough for the beginning, I think. So we're destroying the unit right here, which is our attack, and the next thing we want to do is we want to play some kind of animation. So let's play this idle first of all. So this idle is being played right from the beginning, and if you want to play another animation which is not the idle, then we need to stop the idle animation. So stop idle. So there's no point in playing two animations at the same time. We need to disable the first animation, therefore, or in this case the idling animation, in order to play the other animation. So of course it is possible to play both, but this will look very weird, guys. So let's define a new variable for the loaded attack right here. Loaded attack and attack. Okay, and now, so wait, we want to of course play this loaded attack, and after 1 second we want the loaded attack to stop, and we want to play the idling again. And now the only thing which is missing is the attack animation, of course. So now let's move on with animating this attack animation, guys. So I actually think that this is a very good starting point. So this position. So I want him to rotate this way. What is wrong with ROBLOX? And you're rotating the arm this way. Of course, turning this arm back in. Okay, so this looks pretty weird, but it is okay, I guess. To start this. Okay, so it is not the best animation, not the best attack animation for Zoro, but I think that it does its job, and it is quite okay, guys. So there's nothing to complain about. Okay, and of course, let me cancel this pretty quick. And of course, after you've completed your animation, make sure it is not looped. Set the animation priority to action again, and then hit export, guys, and then export this whole thing. Submit this and copy the animation ID you receive, and then go down here to attack and add this animation ID right here. And now our Zoro should be able to attack units and destroy them with an attack and play an animation while attacking, and then teleport back without any problems. Let's see if this works, guys. And as you can see, Zoro is standing right here, looks pretty badass. And now our victim right here has been killed. And this is it, guys. So this is on how you make towers attack, and of course we will not only leave it at Zoro. I will of course do more complicated characters, so characters like, I don't know, maybe some stand users, or, well, I don't know, guys, just suggest who I could do next. Okay, so which character could I do next? Write that down inside of the comment section, guys. And of course we still need to cover up the whole topic on like leveling up this tower right here, so making the tower have different attacks. So I think that maybe making Zoro have 2 swords at level 2 would be a good idea. So, and he would like receive 1 more sword for every level up he receives. So he would end up at level 3 with a 3 sword style and doing a massive amount of damage once we have made these units. Once we have made these units pretty detailed, so like giving them some kind of appearance, giving them health, giving them levels, giving them certain attributes which differentiate each unit, so which makes them unique, guys. Okay, so excuse me for my bad vocabulary, for my bad English. Well, I'm not a native speaker, guys. And so this is it with this video, guys. If you have enjoyed it, then please leave a like, subscribe, guys, and if you subscribe, turn on the notification bell. Share this video to all of your friends. Check out the join member option, guys. Leave a comment giving me feedback, or just suggesting things, suggesting characters which I could make, suggesting that hair tutorial, suggesting that mini tutorial I was talking about some 10 minutes ago. And you know what to comment, guys. So everyone who has watched that video, comment something. And I love you guys. I love you, and continue your support, guys. You are insane, guys. You're amazing, and thanks to everyone who has made it possible for me to be here with 4,400 subscribers, guys. You are insane. You are insane. Okay, so thanks to everyone, a hug to everyone, a kiss to everyone, guys. Okay, so enough with that now, and take care, guys. See you in the next video.